What's going on, guys, and welcome back to WWE Network and Chill, where every single week I, Graham Jason Matthews, break down all the original content I watch on the WWE Network, as well as on the USA Network, because today we're talking the Season 1 return of Miz and Mrs., our first batch of new episodes since the summer. This show wrapped up back in, I believe, around September, before Total Divas came back and then Total Bellas came back. Well, Miz and Mrs. now officially back on the USA Network, airing after SmackDown Live on Tuesday nights. And the second half of Season 1 looks to be even better than the first half. The first season kicked off with a very fucking weird, implied nude photo shoot, and it felt very staged. After kind of getting more of a feel for the show felt like it found its footing after a while and kind of settled into a nice niche for itself. And I've been really enjoying the show ever since, the first second or third episode or so. And now that they're back, I'm sure we're going to be getting even more entertaining episodes to come. So Season 1, Episode 7, the kickoff of the second season, or the second half of Season 1, that's very confusing, was called Baby's First SummerSlam, as Miz and Maurice travel to New York for SummerSlam 2018 and bring their baby Monroe Sky with them. So to kick off the episode, they recap having Monroe Sky back in the first half of Season 1. Maurice announces that she's returning to the ring. Not just yet in this episode, but her return to the ring will be coming soon enough. And Miz talks about never being higher in his career, which at this point, he was pretty high up in the totem pole on SmackDown as one of the lead heels on that show. So they're on the road to SummerSlam, and it's the first time that they've brought Monroe anywhere on the road with them. So they're bringing Monroe with them. Maurice packs way too much. Miz is like, listen, you got to take it back a notch, take it down a notch. You don't need that much shit, so take 1 or 2 bags. That's all you need. Remember that. In the meantime, Marjo, who is Maurice's wife, or not Maurice's mom, not wife. Maurice is the wife of Miz. That's an awful visual. Marjo is Maurice's mom. We kind of got a feel for her in the first half of Season 1. Quite the character Marjo is. She's going to be watching Miz's home and Maurice's home while they're away. And Miz tells her, listen, the dogs are on a diet, which I've never heard of before. Apparently, they're 10 pounds overweight, each of them. So Miz tells her, don't give them table scraps, any spare food, bacon, nothing. They need to stick to their diet. She's like, okay. So it's the baby's first flight. All goes well. And Monroe's a 4-month-old at this point. So still pretty young. They arrive in New York for SummerSlam weekend. Miz reveals that he tans. Surprise, surprise. That has been well known for quite some time now. They arrive at the hotel. Maurice buys a bunch of toys for Monroe. They get the shipment of toys taken to their room by the bell clerk or whatever their name is, the person that brings all the shit up to your room. All these toys arrive at the room, and Miz is like, what the fuck is going on here? I told you specifically to not bring or buy any toys. But Maurice does it anyway, knowing her, that's hardly a surprise. Miz, in having to put together all the toys for Monroe Sky, misses his tanning appointment, which he's not all that happy about. Maurice's sister also visits. She doesn't speak a lick of English, and I think this is the first time that we've seen Maurice's sister. But she visits for the week and help watch Monroe Sky while Miz and Maurice are busy doing other things. So Miz checks in on Marjo, and apparently he has security cameras all around his house, specifically in the kitchen. So he checks in on Marjo every once in a while. One time he looks in, and also he can talk to Marjo through the intercom system in his house, which is fucking weird. But that's Miz and Maurice for you. So he catches Marjo one night feeding the dogs bacon. And Miz is like, don't give the dogs bacon. And she's like, stop spying on me, which is also a very, legit claim. Don't spy on people, even if it's your own home. That's really weird. Again, remember that. That comes back to bite Miz a little later on in the episode. So Miz goes out and buys some self-tanner, and Miz is going to have Maurice do it. Maurice says, I get sick even smelling this stuff. It stinks. It made me puke when I was pregnant, and I'm not dealing with this, because until tomorrow, it's going to stink, and I don't want to smell it. So Miz is like, fine, I'll go to a professional place. They spend some family time. They spend some family time together. Miz, Maurice, Monroe Sky, and the sister. Miz goes to get his tan, but ends up getting bronzed instead, which, for those unfamiliar like I was before I watched this episode, apparently getting bronzed is a much deeper type of tan. It's like essentially changing your skin color. That's how dark this tan is. You look like a fucking burnt piece of toast. So Miz shows, Maurice and her sister his tan, and he looks into the mirror and he's mortified. He's like, holy shit, I have to get this shit off. They go back to the hotel, trying to avoid the press and the fans and everyone else. Maurice runs into the hotel, then Miz follows after her, and she runs back downstairs to the limo, and he's not there. It's a wild goose chase. They find out that the sister is right next door, and Miz has like a fucking tuxedo suit from the from the limo driver over his head the entire time, so no one sees his awful tan. And he meets Ricochet in the hotel, and Miz goes, not in the hotel, in the hotel elevator, and Miz goes to Ricochet, who doesn't say a word, by the way. Miz merely says, don't mind me, just got a bad tan, that's all. It was really funny. So they wipe off the bronzer, he's left with a much better tan as a result. So it's not exactly what he was going for, but it's still pretty good. And Miz, when they arrive at SummerSlam, he checks up on Marjo one more time on his security cameras, only to find out that she was walking around nude in the fucking kitchen, which she did on purpose to teach Miz a lesson to not spy on her. And Miz even says, yep, no more spying on Marjo. When we get home, I'm burning the cameras and erasing all footage on those things, because that is absolutely disgusting. Why they continue to look at her even while she was nude? They were talking to her over the security cameras, over the intercom, for like a minute or so, while she's looking right at the camera nude. This includes Miz, Maurice, the fucking baby is there, Dolph Ziggler's there, the sister's there, everyone is watching Marjo walk around the kitchen nude. Thankfully, it's blurred out for us viewers, so we don't have to sit through the pain of seeing Marjo nude in the Miz and Maurice household. So that was disturbing. Even the idea of it almost made me gag, but whatever. Marjo teaching Miz a lesson per usual. At SummerSlam, Miz beats Bryan in their one-on-one match. A very good match, might I add. One of the better matches from that night's show. And Miz talks about how it's amazing to have Maurice back by his side, because this kicks off kind of a short-lived story where Maurice would return to the ring to do battle alongside Miz with Daniel Bryan and Brie Bella at the next month's Hell in a Cell pay-per-view. So I'm sure we'll get more on that in the episodes to come. Maurice says to Miz to close out the episode, and Miz talks about how much he loves Monroe and how much he loves Maurice. I'm so happy to have you. You make me better, blah, blah, blah. Maurice merely says in response, I love you, bud. I think I love Monroe more, which was a great quote to end on, jokingly or not. I thought it was awesome. So that was Season 1, Episode 7 of Miz and Mrs. entitled Babies for SummerSlam. Check it out on the USA Network. It's an easy 22 minutes to digest. It's a half-an-hour show. If you watch without commercials, skip over them like I did after watching it after the fact, then it's an easy show to digest every Tuesday. So check it out after SmackDown on the USA Network. I'll be back next week with my review of Season 1, Episode 8. So until then, guys, enjoy the rest of WrestleMania weekend. I promise to have more content up as the weekend goes on. Here's hoping, if I have the time, that is. TakeOver Friday, G1 Supercard Saturday. We have WrestleMania Sunday. I'm hoping to put up content every day after each event, from like entrances and match outcomes, stuff like that. So stay tuned for more on my WrestleMania weekend coverage right here on the channel as WrestleMania weekend continues. Till next time, guys, I'm Graham G.S. Matthews, and I'll catch your ass down the road.